When lava meets water, amazing geological and chemical processes ensue, and it's mesmerizing to see. So join me as we take a look at 15 amazing lava versus water moments. Number 15. The lava fire hose. This incredible sight was known as the lava fire hose, and you can see why. Although something tells me that if you use this particular hose for putting out a fire, then you might end up making things ever so slightly worse. This flow originates in Hawaii's Kilauea volcano and started when a 26-acre lava delta collapsed into the ocean on New Year's Eve 2016. And the lava tube from which our firehouse is flowing was exposed. It started off as a drizzle coming down from the cliffs, but gradually increased in intensity until it became the mind-blowing spectacle of nature you're currently witnessing, arcing out and falling 70 feet into the ocean below. The National Park Service put restrictions in place regarding how close people could get to the phenomenon, but as you can see, that didn't stop tourists from heading there in tiny boats, clearly with no concern at all for the fact that their own faces could be melted off within a second. Apart from anything else, just look at the explosions as the molten lava hits the cool seawater, sending chunks of hot rock here, there, and everywhere. A hat and a pair of sunglasses isn't gonna do much against that. Number 14. Water thrown into a lava lake. This video features YouTubers Bradley White and Jeff Mackley throwing a container full of water into a lava lake at Ertael, meaning smoking mountain in the local Afar language. Ertael is a continuously active basaltic shield volcano in the Afar region of northeastern Ethiopia. It's the most active volcano in Ethiopia, and its most southern pit is known as the Gateway to Hell, so it's not exactly the kind of place you just head out to with your friends. You know, throwing a canister of water into, for instance. In fact, there was a major eruption here in 2005, which killed 250 head of livestock and forced thousands of nearby residents to flee. So Bradley and Jeff certainly had to demonstrate a serious amount of bravery to film this video. There are only 8 volcanoes with lava lakes in the entire world, so they are pretty rare, and this lava lake has been around since the early 20th century, making it the longest existing one in the world. And it's this lake that you can see in this video. As soon as the lake absorbs the water, it immediately becomes invigorated and starts behaving more like a tempestuous orange ocean, with waves of lava crashing around. It certainly is an amazing sight. Number 13. Mother Nature tries to create an island in the South Pacific. This next video makes you feel like you're watching some kind of old sci-fi or horror movie, or a series of small atomic bombs being detonated underwater, or maybe Godzilla's down there. He's picked up one of those new COVID variants and can't stop sneezing. What you're actually looking at, however, is an underwater volcano called Cavachi in the Solomon Islands, which is one of the most active undersea volcanoes in the world, and in this footage is desperately trying to create a new island in the South Pacific. The Pacific is the deepest body of water on our planet, of course, which makes this site even more impressive, and it's not often that you get the chance to see an island forming in real time. It's a pretty rare sight, especially when you consider that over the last 100 years, Cavachi has only emerged above the waves on a few random occasions. Either way, it's a stunning thing to watch, isn't it? These explosions become more and more active until eventually we start to see solid black matter emerge, as Cavachi does its best to create a new landmass. Sadly, no new island was formed this time, and the debris was swept away by the force of the mighty Pacific. Oh well, if at first you don't succeed, try again. Number 12. Lava flow meeting the ocean. After a dramatic increase in volcanic activity and forcing thousands to evacuate, this lava flow, originating from Fissure 8 of Hawaii's Kilauea volcano, eventually made its way down to the ocean at Kapoho Bay. And this video is the mind-blowing result. At first, we can see a combination of black lava combined with spurting geysers of orange lava, and making the scene look a whole lot like Mount Doom from Lord of the Rings. The flow front was about half a mile wide, with the lava building a delta a few hundred yards into the bay, and as you can see, there's an incredible amount of smoke created as the lava hits the water. Just look at that plume of smoke it's sending up from the coastline. Number 11. When lava meets water. In this video from National Geographic, 2 gentlemen only referred to as Jeff and Robert use a lava oven to find out what happens to liquid rock when it collides with liquid water. They start off by taking 800 pounds of rock and heating it to between 2,000 and 2,100 degrees Fahrenheit, which makes it approximately the same temperature at which lava naturally occurs, and it certainly looks authentic to me. As you can see, as the lava tips out of the furnace and runs down towards the water, it could easily be coming from any of the volcanoes mentioned on our list. But when the lava hits the water, it blackens, but almost appears to become some sort of living thing, bubbling and writhing around on the surface. Number 10. Large lava fissure near Hawaiian coast. This amazing footage is of a large fissure which opened up in 2018 near the Hawaiian coast. As you can see, the lava starts off almost spitting out of the earth before flowing like a terrifying gray and orange river towards the coastline. This aerial footage once again shows the incredible reaction when water comes into contact with molten lava, the smoke, the explosions, and just take a look at this bird's eye view of the lava flow. It looks like some kind of biblical river of blood, and this substance is indeed capable of creating death and destruction of biblical proportions. The view of the smoke from the coastline makes it seem as if the entire earth is on fire. In fact, if Armageddon ever shows up, I think it's fair to say it would look a lot like this. It could almost be a tourism film from Mordor. Are you sick of spending relaxing, carefree days in the Shire? Then why not travel across the Misty Mountains with our tour guide Gollum and spend a fascinating 2 weeks with the Dark Lord Sauron? You'll love it. Number 9. When lava meets ice. Remember Jeff and Robert from the National Geographic video? Well, they're back again with their rumbling lava furnace, in this video from YouTube's Science Channel, who tasked our dynamic duo with finding out what happens when lava meets ice. Neither of them had any idea what the results might be, but they made an educated guess that it would either explode or tunnel down into the ice. But neither of those things turned out to be the answer. As you can see, the lava starts to bubble on the surface of the ice, like a seriously hot collection of orange frog spawn. Bubble, more bubbles, bubbles within bubbles, described by one of the men as scrambled eggs from hell. This strange effect happens because the lava is so hot that the ice turns straight to steam without bothering to change to water en route. This means that it bubbles through the lava, giving the strange effect you're looking at right now. As the lava cools and then turns black, the bubbles instead start to trap the steam, and everything finally calms down. But what an incredible image it creates in the meantime. Number 8. Pouring lava in my pool. This video from the YouTube channel The Backyard Scientist shows the effect of lava being poured into a private swimming pool. Despite what the presenter calls an irrational fear of volcanoes, which he's had since he was a kid, he's also always wanted to see lava in real life. As such, he decided to melt down some red lava rocks in a forge and perform this experiment. 1 hour later, he had his very own vat of molten lava, and as soon as it hits the water of the pool, it starts bubbling, sparking, and sounding like a firework has just been lit. However, our backyard scientist wasn't happy with this, as he claimed the burner wasn't hot enough to provide satisfactory results, and so he tries yet again with a different burner. As you can see, the next batch of lava makes the first one look like ice. You can almost feel the heat coming off the screen. And when he pours this new lava into the pool, it starts looking a lot more like the lava we've seen in these other videos, cascading into the ocean and forming new land. Just look at those underwater shots. He also carries on doing a variety of other experiments with lava and the pool, so it's really worth a watch. Number 7. Lava reaching the ocean at night. Lava by Nightfall might sound like the title of a piece of classical music, but it's also a pretty apt description of our next video. All of this footage was captured on film in the evening. The sight of the distinctively bright lava, the hiss of the smoke emanating from the water, the twinkling sound of the cooling lava, all of it combines to create a truly mesmerizing effect. It's almost like looking at the burning tip of a giant cigar as it gives off plumes of tobacco smoke in the early evening dusk. It's the kind of thing you can imagine in a painting, the vibrant oranges and yellows against the ashy, sullen grays. You get the feeling that Turner, known for his turbulent, sometimes violent marine-based paintings, could have painted incredible lava scenes, but sadly there weren't many active volcanoes available in Victorian London. Number 6. Lava versus water beads. At first, this might seem like a strange choice after all of the furious examples of Mother Nature we've seen so far, but this video experiment from YouTube channel Power Vision has a really bizarre result. As you can see, after heating a collection of rocks to create a supply of lava, the next step is to put a whole bunch of water beads into a hole he's dug in the sand and pour out all of that beautiful magma inside. We can immediately see the reaction, but what's really striking is what happens next. After leaving the lava to cool and therefore solidify, he digs another small hole adjacent to the filled one and pulls out this new lava-water bead hybrid, and isn't it bizarre? It almost looks like something you might find in an antique ship frequented by hipsters. Well, on the other hand, judging by the way he throws it down and the water beads drop out, it could possibly make a pretty effective piñata, if you don't mind getting lava-encrusted water beads instead of candy. Number 5. Lava flow and ocean entry. All we know about the location of this video is that it was shot somewhere in Hawaii, but there must be one serious volcano nearby. Just look at all that black lava rock. I don't envy the guy who had to build a road in the middle of it. If it was me, I'd be looking over my shoulder every 2 seconds worried about when the next eruption might happen. And let's be honest, if you're going to race away from a lava flow, perhaps a bicycle wouldn't be the best choice of transport. Anyway, just look at these amazing shots of the lava crawling its way across the shore to meet the tide. And here's a familiar looking sight, more lava dripping down towards the encroaching waves. Before we move on to some footage from a bunch of people who are clearly crazy, coughing themselves silly. And look, I'm no lava expert and I'm clearly not a doctor, but maybe, just maybe, you're coughing because you're within flesh-burning distance of a bunch of lava. But hey, that's just my opinion. Take it or leave it. Number 4. Tourist notices a pocket of lava. Isn't this a bizarre sight? It almost looks like the Earth, or Mother Nature for that matter, is actually giving birth. Although any midwife who tried to deliver this baby would have to do so with a welding mask and some fireproof gloves. And even then, you'd be hard-pressed to find a way to cut the umbilical cord. This same lava flow eventually reaches the water and falls off a cliff onto this strange little structure. But here's the thing, before the lava flow started, that strange little structure didn't even exist. We're actually seeing the creation of land in real time. So in a way, I suppose we have witnessed the birth of something. Nurse, I'm gonna need some towels and hot water. Number 3. Lava from La Palma eruption hits the sea. This footage features the most recent volcanic eruption on our list, starting on the 19th of September, when a crack opened in La Palma's Cumbre Vieja volcano in the Canary Islands and started to throw jets of ash and lava into the air. This resulted in thousands of people fleeing their homes and hundreds of properties being destroyed, not to mention schools, entire villages, and a wide array of other places and things, before it eventually made its way to the sea around 10 days later. More than 6,000 people were evacuated, including 400 tourists who were taken to the neighboring island of Tenerife. Many lost everything they owned, and as you can see, the lava, which turned black when exposed to the air, just kept spreading and spreading like some kind of ravenous, limbless creature, swallowing entire communities whole as it goes. Farmers were racing to save crops of bananas, avocados, and grapes before the lava reached their plantations, which ironically are rich with volcanic, fertile soil, on which many islanders depend for their livelihoods. The other problem is that as the lava reaches the water, it releases toxic gases. The lava that's reached the sea eventually created a low island more than half a kilometer wide. Number 2. Lava swallows swimming pool after La Palma eruption. Our next video also contains footage of the La Palma volcano, but this one shows how it affected things on a more domestic level, as it seems to simply swallow a swimming pool whole like some ravenous creature making its way downhill. We mentioned previously on our list how hundreds of homes were destroyed and thousands of people were evacuated, so we can only assume, hope, and pray that nobody was in this particular home when this footage was shot. There's no doubt as to who's going to win this round of lava versus water, but despite the mismatch in size, you can still see the reaction as the immense mound of black lava reaches the sapphire blue of the swimming pool. Number 1. Lava being swept away underwater. Well, here we are at the end of our list, and who do you think won this age-old grudge match, lava or water? In this footage, we watch as rivers of liquid rock plunge over the cliffs and into the waiting ocean below. And just like our video about Mother Nature trying to create an island, most of the lava is swept away before it can settle. However, this is still one of my favorite videos, because this footage shows what happens to the lava after it's swept away. And we get to see all of this underwater. Isn't this incredible? As the lava hits the water, it's burning at over 1,000 degrees Celsius, and the images it creates are quite simply spellbinding. Look at the way it twists and turns and changes. It looks like something created by CGI for a Hollywood movie. But this is real life, and this is real lava, and this is Mother Nature in all her beauty and fury.
Watch our nature playlist for more top 15 videos about beautiful nature. Sit back, relax, and binge watch all of our best nature videos.